Before time had a name, there was only the vast, silent expanse of space. From this emptiness, a great cloud of gas and dust began to stir. Microscopic grains of dust and ice, the building blocks of worlds, began to gather. Through a gentle cosmic dance, these particles formed ever larger clumps of matter. Gravity, the ultimate architect, pulled this swirling cloud into a vast spinning disk. At its heart, a star was born. Our sun ignited, flooding the system with light. A powerful solar wind swept the disk, leaving only heavy, rocky materials behind. In this inner circle, rocks and pebbles collided in a storm of creation. These collisions formed planetesimals, the seeds of future planets, a kilometer across. Thousands of these bodies now vied for dominance in a chaotic cosmic ballet. Violence was the engine of creation, as these worlds merged in fiery collisions. A growing giant began to emerge, our proto-Earth, sweeping its orbit clean. This was not a world of rock and water, but a terrifying ocean of magma. It endured a relentless bombardment, a rain of fire from the young solar system. From its molten surface, the sky was a silent void, offering no protection. Heavy elements like iron sank, drawn by gravity to form the planet's core. But its violent birth was not over. Another world was approaching on a collision course. Theia, a protoplanet the size of Mars, hurtled towards the young Earth. A catastrophe of unimaginable scale was now inevitable. A world-shattering impact loomed. The two worlds collided, vaporizing rock and blasting debris deep into space. From this cataclysm, a larger Earth was formed, surrounded by a ring of fire. This ring of molten debris orbited the wounded planet at incredible speed. Over time, gravity worked its magic once more, pulling the debris together. A new sphere of glowing rock was born in orbit. Our moon had arrived. The giant moon loomed in the sky, creating colossal tides in the magma below. This gravitational dance pushed the moon away and slowed Earth's frantic spin. As the planet cooled, the first fragile crust of black volcanic rock began to form. Volcanoes erupted, spewing gas and water vapor from the planet's molten heart. This was the Hadean Eon, a hellish landscape beneath a toxic alien sky. The late heavy bombardment began, shattering the crust with constant impacts. But these cosmic messengers were not just bringers of destruction. They carried ice. For millions of years, comets and asteroids delivered water to the barren Earth. The hot, dense atmosphere became saturated with this precious cargo of water vapor. High in the cooling atmosphere, the first drop of rain condensed. A world would change. It fell upon the hot rock and vanished in a hiss of steam. Soon, a torrential deluge began, a great rain that would last for centuries. This hot, acidic rain began to cool the land and pool in the lowest basins. Impact craters filled, basins connected, and the first shallow oceans were born. Beneath the waves, hydrothermal vents churned with chemical energy from Earth's core. A new world had been forged. A planet of fire had become a planet of water. The young sun was a violent star, unleashing powerful flares into the system. Its solar wind stripped away Earth's first thin atmosphere of primordial gas. Countless small worlds drifted in this cosmic nursery, each a potential building block. Deep within, radioactive decay generated immense heat, keeping the planet's heart molten. After the Great Impact, the Earth spun incredibly fast. A day lasted just 6 hours. From the molten moon, the Earth was a terrifyingly beautiful spectacle in the sky. Great fissures bled lava across the surface, creating vast plains of volcanic rock. A new, thicker atmosphere formed from volcanic gases, but it contained no oxygen. The close moon's gravity tortured the young crust, triggering constant earthquakes and eruptions. On this hostile world, the first solid ground was a sharp, black, lifeless rock. Rivers, not of water, but of incandescent lava, carved canyons through the landscape. On the dark side of the planet, impacts were the only source of light. The great rain began to erode the land, carrying minerals into the new seas. The primordial ocean was a hot, steamy, and turbulent chemical soup. Massive lightning storms struck the ocean, adding energy to this rich environment. This was a world of monumental desolation, a stage waiting for an actor. In warm geothermal pools, the chemistry of creation was beginning to stir. The world transformed. Land became islands in a single, globe-spanning ocean. From a distance, Earth was now a blue marble, shrouded in a veil of clouds. The meteorites that built our world contained the very dust of the cosmos. The great gas giants acted as gravitational slingshots, directing comets inward. The moon took the brunt of the bombardment, its scars a record of the chaos. Immense pressure at the planet's center forged a solid iron inner core. The flow of the liquid outer core generated an invisible shield around the planet. This magnetic field would protect our atmosphere, a key to life's survival. It was a true hell on Earth, a landscape of fire beneath a sky of poison. The fast rotation and low-hanging moon created waves of unimaginable power. The moon remained a fossil world. Earth was dynamic, wiping its slate clean. The first oceans were not blue, but a murky green from dissolved iron. In the deep, dark ocean, these black smokers were oases of chemical energy. The age of chaos was ending. A new era of relative calm began. The journey from a ball of fire to a world of water was now complete. Other asteroids carried a different cargo. The complex organic molecules of life. These cosmic seeds rained down, enriching the primordial soup of the early oceans. In the protected depths, these molecules could combine, forming complex, new structures. The moon was now a silent guardian, its violent creation a distant memory. Through a break in the clouds, a blue planet was revealed for the first time. The stage was set. The planet was ready, but still profoundly empty. At the boundary between water and rock, the greatest story was about to begin. In the dark, quiet depths of the ocean, the first spark of life was imminent. In the crushing darkness of the deep, life's first stirrings began near vents of fire. Here, a rich soup of cosmic chemicals created the building blocks of all life. Energy from lightning storms on the surface also fueled this great chemical experiment. Simple molecules began linking into complex chains. capable of holding information. The miracle of replication began. Life found a way to make copies of itself. Simple membranes formed, creating the first protocells, separating life from non-life. In these deep-sea gardens, the first faint sparks of biology began to glow. From this crucible emerged the first true cell, the ancestor of everything alive today. Life, once started, would not be stopped. It began to multiply and spread. It was a journey from the abyss, a slow migration towards the greatest energy source of all. In the sunlit shallows, a new kind of life evolved, the secret of photosynthesis. These cyanobacteria built the first living cities, great layered mounds called stromatolites. Their photosynthesis released a new gas into the world, a waste product called oxygen. Life had found a new power, harnessing the sun to reshape a planet. This new oxygen gas began to react with the iron dissolved in the oceans. For nearly 1 billion years, the entire world's oceans began to rust. This rust fell to the seafloor, leaving behind a geological record of the change. As the iron was removed, the oceans cleared and slowly turned blue. But for the first life on Earth, this oxygen was a deadly, corrosive poison. The great poison began to escape the oceans, forever changing the sky above. Over millions of years, the hazy, orange sky was transformed into a familiar blue. High in the atmosphere, oxygen formed a new layer, the ozone shield. This shield protected the surface from deadly radiation, making the world safe. The world then entered a long period of quiet, known as the Boring Billion. But in the microscopic world, a revolution was underway, a cell within a cell. This partnership created the eukaryote, a new, complex cell with immense potential. These larger, more advanced cells were the ancestors of all animals, plants, and fungi. Soon, cells began to cooperate, forming the very first simple, multicellular animals. The continents drifted together, forming the giant supercontinent of Rodinia. This massive landmass disrupted ocean currents, plunging the planet into a deep freeze. A runaway ice age began, as reflective ice created even colder temperatures. Glaciers spread from the poles to the equator, entombing the entire planet. This was Snowball Earth, a beautiful, silent, and nearly dead world. Only near volcanic vents could life cling on in this great global winter. These volcanoes pumped greenhouse gases into the air, slowly warming the world again. After millions of years in darkness, the great thaw began to crack the ice. Melting glaciers released a flood of nutrients into the reawakening oceans. The world was now a blank slate, perfectly primed for life's next great leap. The first large organisms appeared, strange beings from a truly alien world. A new behavior, hunting and burrowing, forever changed the battlefield of life. This triggered the Cambrian explosion, a biological Big Bang of incredible diversity. Animals evolved armor, legs, and the first complex eyes to see the world. Evolution experimented with bizarre body plans, like the five-eyed opabinia. Predation drove evolution, creating the first great hunter of the seas, Anomalocaris. In a geological instant, the blueprint for nearly all modern animal life was created. Among the chaos, a humble creature evolved the first primitive backbone. our story began. While the oceans teemed with life, the land remained a barren, empty wilderness. The first pioneers were humble algae, clinging to the rocks at the water's edge. Slowly, patiently, these first plants began their conquest of the continents. Their roots held the earth, changing the shape of the land and its rivers. In the oceans, new giants rose, like the colossal, straight-shelled orthocones. The first great coral reefs created vibrant cities, bustling with marine biodiversity. But the dance of the continents would once again bring a great extinction. A new ice age lowered the seas, wiping out the majority of life. From the ashes, new predators emerged, like the fearsome and alien sea scorpions. A deadly new innovation appeared in the seas, the evolution of powerful jaws. On land, plants reached for the sky, creating the first strange and silent forests. These new forests created something the world had never seen before: rich, dark soil. The sheer volume of plant life supercharged the atmosphere with oxygen. The first animals, small insects and arthropods, ventured out of the water. In the shallows, a fish with strong, bony fins began to look toward the shore. This was it. A fish, using its fins, took the first momentous steps on land. This led to the Carboniferous period, an age of vast, steamy swamp forests. The high oxygen levels allowed insects and arthropods to grow to terrifying sizes. Dragonflies with the wingspan of eagles ruled the humid, oxygen-rich skies. The first amphibians thrived in the swamps, but were still tied to the water. But a new invention, the amniotic egg, would finally break this bond. Reptiles were now free to conquer the dry interior of the continents. The ancient swamp forests were buried, creating the coal that powers our world today. The continents merged into one supercontinent, Pangaea, creating a harsh, dry climate. Strange reptile-like creatures, our own distant relatives, ruled this new world. Two great dynasties of reptile were now set on a collision course for dominance. But the Earth itself was about to unleash a catastrophe unlike any other. In Siberia, the largest volcanic eruption in history began, poisoning the entire planet. The oceans turned to acid. The air became unbreathable. This was the Great Dying. Life on Earth was nearly extinguished. Over 90% of all species vanished. The world fell silent, an empty stage, waiting for new actors to appear. The survivors were small and secretive, hiding in the ruins of the old world. From this devastation, a new group of reptiles, the archosaurs, began their rise. The world had been reset. The stage was now set for the age of dinosaurs.